What's up, guys? Welcome back to Green Pond Outdoors. Today we're doing something a little different. As you can tell, we're not on the water. We got a little picks and predictions video for the upcoming MLF Bass Pro Tour tournament at Smith Mountain Lake. If you guys have seen my videos, you know I'm very familiar with Smith Mountain Lake. I've been going up there for about 20 years now, and excited to see how the pros break down that body of water and how they do. But first off, we're going to do our first ever free giveaway. What are we giving away, you ask? First off, bull shad topwater rat, valued at I don't know, I think these are like 20 bucks. And also, nice crispy 112 Green Pond Outdoors hat. Here's how you get it. Number one, you must be subscribed to the channel. And number two, you must pick 3 of the top 5 anglers in this week's MLF Heavy Hitters Tournament. If we have more than one person get 3 of the top 5, it goes to the person who has the higher anglers. So say I get the 3rd, 4th, and 5th angler, and another gentleman gets the 1st, 3rd, and 5th. It would go to the gentleman that picked the winner. If for some odd reason that's tied as well, I'm going to give it to whoever commented first. Moving on, I want to talk to you a little bit about this tournament and what it is. So for those of you who don't know, I'm a big MLF fan. You know, I think MLF is the, how do I say this? It's the best for the viewer. I'll even go say it's the best for the viewer and it's the best for the fish. Catch, weigh, release format, obviously the best for the fish. And if you've been watching MLF at all, I mean, they've already had a couple buzzer beater finishes this year. I know week 1, Justin Cooper and Colby Miller came down the wire. And you definitely saw last week Jacob Wheeler lost to Jake Lawrence in like the last seconds on a buzzbait. And there's no other tournament trail out there creating drama and buzzer beater finishes like that. So from a viewing standpoint, that's why I love it. Everybody has their own opinion. I don't want to get into that here. I want to talk more about the upcoming event at Smith Mountain Lake and help you make some educated picks. Not only can you make picks here with me and win something, I know MLF has fantasy fishing, so if you're a fan of that, keep watching. Maybe I'll give you a different view or a different insight to help you make your picks. Starting out, MLF Heavy Hitters. These guys qualify for it, the 2024 season. It's the guys that have the most poundage of big fish. I'm not exactly sure how they qualify for it, but it's something to that effect. They keep up with it. It's the top 30 anglers. There's going to be a lot of space out there. They're going back to split it up into 2 groups for this tournament. Group A, Group B, Group A, Group B. Those are the qualifying rounds. They'll cut each group, bring them together, have a knockout round, make a cut, then have your championship round. The cool thing about this tournament that I'm sure a lot of the anglers love, it's not in the angler of the year points running. You know, it's, I'll say, kind of a pressure-free event. You know, you're not there fishing for points. You're really just out there fishing for cash. So they will still get the $100,000 to whoever wins the tournament, doing the every fish counts format. Big fish cash that these anglers can win. Each qualifying day, the biggest fish pays out $10K. The knockout round, $30K. And the championship round, the biggest fish called in will pay out the same as the winning, $100K. Forward-facing sonar can be used the whole time this tournament. And you know how split the world is right now on forward-facing sonar. So half the guys are jacked for that and half aren't. It is what it is. You can use it the whole time. And also they're using MLF-issued boats. So they'll all have the same boat. I believe it's a 21-foot nitro. I'm not sure which forward-facing sonar brand they're going to use. I would assume it's Garmin or Lowrance, but I don't know about that for sure. The boat thing, I'm sure that's a sponsorship thing that MLF has in place. I'm sure the anglers aren't thrilled about it, but hey, gotta do what you gotta do when you're part of the organization. So as far as the lake goes, lots of clear water. There's a smallmouth population that's growing. I don't think you're going to win catching smallmouth. It's mostly going to be largemouth. There are lots of stripers in here. If you guys have been following the coverage or anything, it's been comped a lot to Lake Murray in South Carolina, which I get. One, because of the blueback herring. They're more and more prevalent in Smith Mountain now than ever, and they're going to be a factor this week. Two, clear waters, lots of docks. I mean, I get it. We'll see if the guys that are good on Lake Murray are good here. I'm sure it'll help them, but I just, I still just think Smith Mountain's a different beast. I think you can be good on Lake Murray, you can come here and get stumped, for sure. I don't think a lot of guys have fished this lake. We'll get into breaking down each, individual angler I'm going to talk about and their experiences here. But let me tell you, there's one local, and there's guys that have fished it 15 years ago, and I don't know if there's a lot of guys that have been practicing on it this year for this tournament. Maybe I'm wrong. It's not really located around where a lot of these guys live. We got one Virginia angler in the field. We'll get to him a little later. First, how are they going to catch them? We talked about the blueback herring thing. It's definitely going to play. Forward-facing sonar guys are going to be finding some schools. The spawn is pretty much done. I would say maybe there's 15% left to spawn, or on, well, not left to spawn. I'd say there's 15% on beds. Maybe less than that. A lot of them already started moving back out. Docks are always a big thing at Smith Mountain Lake. Some docks hold them, some docks don't. Maybe those guys find some magic docks in 2 days. We'll see who's able to break it down the best. My next thought process is, who are the Lake Murray guys? If this place is going to fish like Lake Murray, they were just there earlier this year, and they went there in 2023. If you look at the tournament that MLF had back in March, first place, Drew Gill. Second place, Jacob Wheeler. Third place, Marshall Robinson. Fourth, MDJ. Fifth, Brent Erler. 7, Jeff Sprague. 8, Matt Becker. 9, Alton Jones Jr. So all those guys did good on Lake Murray. All those guys will be here this week. So maybe they got a leg up on the competition. Next, which guys have fished tournaments here before? Bassmaster came here in 2007 and 2010. And that's the last time any big circuit came here. If you're looking at the 07 tournament, won by Casey Ashley, South Carolina guy, Lake Murray guy. Coincidence? I don't know. 16th, Fred Urbanis. 22nd, Edwin Evers. Is it Evers? It's Edwin Evers. All right, if we move on to the 2010 tournament, 7th place, Edwin Evers. 8th place, Bobby Lane. 12th place, Marty Robinson, whose son is Marshall Robinson. 14th place, Alton Jones. 29th place, Keith Poche. 40th place, Fred Urbanis. What's up, guys? Back in a little bit different environment here. Was filming with my big camera last night, and wouldn't you know it, it died on me. But I think that was a sign, because I woke up this morning and I realized I was talking about 15-year-old Bassmaster tournaments. And, hey, that shit ain't gonna matter. The black box is getting unleashed this weekend. The scopers will dominate this tournament. They're gonna scope brush piles. They're gonna scope under docks. They're gonna scope schools offshore. They're gonna scope off the end of flats. They're gonna dominate. I guarantee it. With that in mind, I'll go ahead and give you guys my top 10 anglers. Starting with number 10. Let's talk about my man, Zach Burge. If we know one thing about Zach Burge, he works out. He's built for a 6-day marathon, and also one of the most consistent anglers on the tour for years. As good as anybody with the scope. Well-rounded, versatile guy. I think he'll do well here. Number 9, Justin Lucas. A Clearwater assassin. Good all over the country. Like Burge. Many top 10s. Hundreds of top 20s. You know, I feel like both Justin and Zach should have won a lot of tournaments by now, and they just never quite get over the hump. I definitely feel like they'll do good this week. Number 8. Let's go DC. Dustin Connell, the king of Alabama. Champ. The only reason he's so low on my list is because we're not in the state of Alabama. And I love him. But to be honest, outside of Alabama, he seems like he likes to zig when he should zag. With that being said, I hope he doesn't. I hope he proves me wrong and knocks it out of the park here. I just fear that this lake could give him some trouble. But we'll see. Time will tell. Number 7, Matt Becker. Great with the scope. Great all around. Like many of these top tier guys. Also a Lake Murray guy. If you guys can remember, he crushed it at Lake Murray. Was in contention there. Knows how to do the blueback thing. Should do well here. Number 6, Marshall Robinson. Kind of a dark horse selection. But let me tell you something. Those Robinson boys, they're coming. If you don't know them now, you'll know them in 5 years. The thing I like about Marshall, man, at this stage and time in his life, he can dedicate to nothing but fishing. He could probably fish 365 days a year if he wanted to. You know, a lot of these more established guys, I think they take like a little exhale for this tournament. And they're like, you know, no Angler of the Year points on the line. Let's just go to a new fishery, have fun, and catch bigs. Well, that's not Marshall Robinson. He's not as established. He's here to put a stamp on this thing and make a name for himself. I expect him to come in fully focused. You know, he's a young cat, obviously great with the scope. And I think if he can get on a couple things in practice and get some confidence built up early, that he can make a run at this thing. We'll see. Number 5, Alton Jones Jr. Alton loves this tournament, man. Always shows up in it. Has a knack for catching big fish. You know, swim bait guy. Swim bait could play here. If he can scope some, then find some on docks with a swim bait, and kind of bounce back and forth between those two things, I think it could take him far. Number 4, Mark Daniels Jr. Man, what a month for Mark Daniels Jr. Following him at his last tournament, you know, it looked like he missed a couple bigs and damn near jumped off the boat. Had a rough time, to say the least. You know, he's not a negative guy, but watching his socials after that last tournament, that was probably the most negative I've seen him. And on top of that, I think he got rear-ended on the way up here. So if anybody is due for a little good luck, it's MDJ. And I think it's coming. Another guy that's very versatile, lots of experience. He has all the skills. I'm pulling for him this week. Hope he does well. Number 3, Drew Gill. For some reason, Drew Gill is still flying under the radar with some people. I'm not sure why. I'll go ahead and put it out there. Second best scoper in the world right now. He is a problem. And he will continue to be a problem for years to come. Like I said, going to be waking up tomorrow in a scoper's paradise, and he's going to be unleashed. So look for him to have a big week. I really feel like Drew Gill might be a mistake Jacob Wheeler made back in high school and nobody knows about it. Like, I feel like Jacob Wheeler could be his dad, because that's who he reminds me of. He hasn't gone on quite the run that Jacob went on, but I could see it coming. With that being said, number 2, Jacob Wheeler, who I'm going to call the best scoper in the world. The GOAT of this generation, the best strategist, the best guy at figuring out a new puzzle. That would be Jacob Wheeler. That's all I'm going to say about him. And number one is going to be a surprise to a lot of you guys. Martin Villa. All right, for those of you guys who don't even know who Martin Villa is, you know, he's a grinder. He's worked his way up from fishing BFLs, qualified through the Tackle Warehouse, has had some solid finishes on the Bass Pro Tour. But the thing he's got that all the other guys don't have, he is the only local fishing this tournament. Now, I will say, I think he's from Charlottesville. I think he's more of a Lake Anna guy. But let me tell you something. If you don't think Martin Villa circled this tournament on his calendar when he found out it was going to be here at Smith Mountain Lake, you are out of your mind. He's going to have family out here, and he's going to have some tricks up his sleeve. When you scope these fish and pressure them for 5 days straight, if Martin Villa can make it in that championship round, that's when he's going to excel. He's going to have some docks. He's going to have some brush piles. He's going to have some stuff squirreled away that none of these other guys have after these fish are exhausted. And that's when he's going to strike. You heard it here first. 2025 Heavy Hitters Champion, Martin Villa. Appreciate you guys watching. Remember, hey, subscribe to the channel. Comment below with the 3 of the top 5 anglers, and I'll mail you a rat and a hat. And one more thing I forgot to mention, guys. We'll let this little competition run until Sunday night at midnight, so you can actually watch each group fish one day and still comment below and have a chance to win. Good luck.